And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Songs of Six. We're going to record 2 more parts during the stream today. So this is the second last part of the stream. Then we'll be going back to sort of normal length streams. Well, actually, still sort of in... We're going to go in sort of station keeping mode, which is going to be normal length streams until I go to help someone move. Here in the game, we want to improve our services. So I've got 244 knowledge. It's tempting to go straight for the Grand Temple, because Temple is strong. I think we're already serving booze, so it'd be a good idea to have a building to serve them via. So let's take the skull. And then we'll also take the worshipping with style. In preparation to going to Grand Temple. Theory, we've got enough to still go into Grand Temple at that point, but we'll slow that roll down a little bit. Okay, so next to our restaurants, let's put in our tavern, which is distribution. It's the last distribution we're missing. Table, knickknacks, and carpets. Okay. There's no reference to how many employees this needs. Not carpets, please. Okay, so that would work, which means ideally it'd probably be 1 longer. That'll work. We'll have 18 services, so it's expecting to be able to service 90 people a day. Yeah, okay. So that should work. Carpets work. And then we'll put a couple of these in, sort of where we have a restaurant. Alright, we're going to do it like that. Nope, that'll actually work there, fine. Yeah, we'll take up a little bit of the potential fishery spot there and put it there. Plop it there. Plop it there, and I can carve the building out. Actually, that's we'll have to check the coverage once they build. Okay. That didn't take any particularly fancy resources, so we're going to be spending the fancy cut stone on our shrines. Let's check to see if we have any regional homeless problems. Okay, a little bit in here. I'm going to do something I haven't actually done before. And that is, we can have... Well, we've picked up a housing upgrade. We haven't built it... Well, I haven't done it in the city yet. And distribute some in the area. And then check the homeless state. Might need a work shift to update. Yeah, I think that's helping. So yeah, that should be giving us a new service. So we should be seeing the addition to Tavern, which is going to be a surprisingly hard service, I think, to fulfill. And we should be seeing the improvement in, although this is in the region tab, we should be seeing the shrine go up. Okay, looks like we've solved most of the regional homelessness. I'm going to bring another 100 people in. 100 Dondorians in. I would like some people to go work in the Zithlon mine, if at all possible. I'm going to put another 50 on the mine. I might regret this later, but I'm going to put another 50 on the mine. And, oh, this is another way we can get fishery yields. We promote Master of the Fisheries. So he affects more of the fishery. And I'm going to promote the Master of the Zithlon Mines. We can add another 50 without having to promote him again. And yeah, okay, that helped a lot. We're now making 300 more fish. Yep, that's slowly filling up. The desired value is actually now 5,000. Well, just under 5,000. So, it is a moving target. Target keeps moving. So we make the city bigger. Same time, this army is mobilized. 550 men. Yeah, I think it's too early for me just to declare on them. without causing a bunch of betrayal. And the reason I'm not worried about the betrayal on them, because we're going to be getting rid of them if we invade them. I'm more worried about the betrayal on the surrounding, because we'd like to keep our trade partners. Specifically, the really big one. The really big one means we have really stable prices. Okay, so we still have a homelessness problem down there. I think that's the only place with a struggle. Oh no, we're having a struggle up here as well. Up here is a bit easier, because I've got plenty of space to just expand. So that's promptly what we're going to do. Effectively, provide housing for people closer to here, so they will want the closer houses, which frees them up progressively for the Tavern Keeper. Could technically build a block of housing down here, which would be more than enough. But we've already got a bit of a sprawling housing complex area over here, so I'm not make it too much more sprawling by improving housing density. Okay, the taverns don't maybe have great of catchment areas I would like. And they're definitely struggling to have enough booze in stock. Okay. Gonna add a physician there, and then I think I'm gonna turn the other half into another hospital. Try and improve the healthcare. Okay, with that in, let's take another 10 Amivians. And then you go quite a bit long. Yeah, you go all the way out there. Well, there's maybe an argument to get out onto the next island. Yeah, let's think about the next island. Yeah, I'm gonna add this as another fishery. I could put a little one in what we've got right there, and that wouldn't be too hard to do. But no, I think I'll add a little bit more land here before we do that. Yeah, let's go to there. Slightly more viable, well, slightly larger fishery. In theory, I don't need more fish, but more fish would be good. Kicks that can farther down the road, and we're basically just hiring bringing Amivians in to do the fishing. So as long as the Amivians are mostly happy, we can bring more in to do more fishing, and in particular, the Amivians want more fish per person. So the more fish I make, the happier they are. They'd also appreciate more of the other services. Prep to make more housing down here, so if we want more for the mines. Yep, see, growing slowly and steadily. We're at almost 2,500 people. When's the next title? 3,000. That gives us 50 more knowledge, 50 more innovation. We've actually spent all our innovation at this point. And holding on to the remaining innovation right now to pick up a Grand Temple. That's definitely not the only option. There's a couple other options. We could do grooming, fight pits, fine entertainment. We go for the upgrade on the marketplaces. We got hearth upgrades. Could get baths. I didn't have the best of luck with baths last time. It might be a little bit easier this time that we have native source of coal, so I'm a little less leery on just flooding the network with coal. And then we could be upgrading fine speech and upgrade the benches. A whole bunch of different options. I could also be spending innovation on, or the knowledge on getting more innovation, upgrade the lab, and or provide laboratory tools. My tool export's working right? That's a good question. Looks like it. I'm gonna manually assign another 3 traders here. See if it's a holing problem. It's making the tools back up. Although maybe don't have infinite capacity to sell tools as well, because we're not far over our price floor. We set the price floor to 70. And some of the trading partners that we're not trading with would actually only take it at 70, so maybe we don't have infinite capacity to sell. Okay, so I think that's ready to become a new fishery. Storage, small. Auxiliary, sufficient. And then that's ready to become a new fishery. That works. Get those constructed and bring more Rivians in, get more fish. And then probably from a water removal standpoint... Yeah, that could all be made into fishery. Keep a small hunk in there to put the storage and the auxiliaries on one big fishery area. Designate some more trees to be felled. In case the wood stockpile's a little low. Do a quick look over what the janitor selected to make sure we don't have any repairability issues, and we are having some up here. Pottery. So the janitor up here in specific is having pottery as an issue. Yeah, it's not, it's this marketplace, it's that one over there. A little bit of a wood problem as well, but the wood might as well be wood delivery issues. Okay, so I need Polar. We'll do a wood and a pottery hauler, just to make sure. Our system for wood distribution, I think, actually relies on sort of saturating the system with wood. So if we don't have enough wood, it doesn't really work. And then the pottery is probably just inadequate pulling from the right direction, so I'll assign this one a manual pull. Okay, I'll give you 2 manual pulls. Pull from one of those 2 places. You couldn't need more pottery as well, although we're making 24 surplus pottery, so it's probably not the pottery. Oh, I'm furniture negative. Okay, so we need to make more furniture. I'm gonna wait a moment. So I'm gonna check the soil type. Because there's the rich soil, that's till. Okay, I'm not worried about building on the till. Might want to keep the rich available so I can do like pastures or farms or something on it. Each one of these is providing... how many? Curious proposal. Recently received a letter from Ko, the second ruler of Duchy of Flandern. He recently sponsored an expedition to the far corners of Sex. The venture was only partially successful. While it did yield returns, part of his forces were captured. In turn, the faction had larger, more warlike allies. The rest of the land will soon be attacked in retaliation. He has no forces to spare at the moment. Due to the unfamiliarity of the local rulers, it would be possible to mislead the raiders into attacking you instead. Deception would need your cooperation. I can get paid to get attacked. Let's pause. It's the Duchy of whom? London, okay. Sure. They're one of our more significant trade partners. Okay, so it makes them like us better. Static that you accepted. In agreement with that, I'm going to say, hey, I would like to become colleagues with you. There we go. That opens up potentially more trading partners. And leave those one region guys as sort of hostile to us, because we can trade them. We can conquer them fairly easily. So I'd like to trade with you, would like to trade with you. It's a bit expensive for a trade deal, but we'll agree to it. Here we go. More people to trade with. And basically puts our money back where we started, which is not too bad. Yeah, in theory that should help keep prices stable. And the people we've just signed that deal with are now willing to charge less tariffs, so effectively everything we're exporting to them is worth more as well. Good to know. So what's the math ratio on this? This is about 6 wood per worker. Rate is 4. Oh, rate is 4, so it's one plus a half times 4, so 6. Yeah, okay. What is our carpenters using? The carpenters are eating 2 times their efficiency. They're eating about 4 each. So, want like another 20 woodcutters. Or I need to improve the woodcutters somehow. Neither of those are going to be enough. We have those tools distributed, right? Yeah. Okay. That's what this why we left this wooded area over here. Yeah, it's bigger than we need. It'll be a little over big. 24 is fine. You know, that's why we left this area forested instead of flooding it for, like, fishing or whatever. Invasion, okay. Our scouts report 20 soldiers. Yeah, we're gonna attack them. Tea time. Answer that one. Is the canal one wide enough to irrigate the pastures? Yes. The pastures actually don't need very much irrigation. I can show you as soon as we get out of this battle. The reason you would make pastures wider, and there are reasons to, or the canals wider, is it makes the range of hydration on the bigger. So you can make your fields thicker if you make the canals wider. Oh, interesting. So we've got mounted humans, and those are cantors. So those are giants. We got giants with hammers. Okay. We're gonna be facing guys that are gonna bonk real well. Although we got them pretty outnumbered, so there's a decent chance we still carry the day here. Not a particularly great start. See if we can get the giants to morale fail. They're down 2. Yeah. We lost. Okay. Let's reset and try that again. Yeah, we did a lot of damage on the cavalry, but no luck on the giants. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, this really comes down to, can we get them to morale break before we morale break? I think the answer is no, by the looks of it. Yeah, no. Giants with hammers are a little too effective at bashing your metal armor. Okay, at this point I'm going to realize we're losing, so we're going to have a bunch of city damage here, so I'm going to go barreling through to effectively our throne. Yeah. So yeah, let me show what we was talking about. He's asking, does the canal one wide enough to irrigate the pasture, right? So we've got a canal here. It's one wide. Technically, we have culverts to connect the canals together. So pastures require that the average moisture on the don't require. They get 100% efficiency if the average moisture on their fields is 50%. So when I'm hovering over moisture here, you can see the canal out from it radiates a range of moisture. So all I have to do to get the pastures to work at optimal efficiency is get their moisture average to 50. And you can see on the case of this one how little the field actually needs to be affected to do that. And it's not very much. Same on this one. You can see we don't need to affect the whole field to get 100%, or to get the 50% bonus there. You hit 50% hydration there. Same over here. I think we're at 50% over here. And I think that's going to be the case for all of them. Yeah, that's the case for all, except maybe this one. Oh, this one's only got... This is only 5% off, right? So it's close enough. I actually could just extend the canal a little bit, and this would probably hit 50%. So yes, canal one wide is enough to irrigate the pasture. I believe the range hydration radiates off of a canal is based on how thick the pasture is, or how thick the canal is. So if you want to run your fields thicker, right, so you need to push hydration deeper into them, then you may want to run thicker canals. We're not quite perfect. Oh, they're bombarding a path through the mountain. Okay, it's fine. You can see here on this grain farm, we're not quite perfect. We've got farms in particular are pickier than pastures. Pastures want 50% moisture. The farms want 90%. Here we're up to 99. Close enough. So we're taking a little bit of a penalty yield, but this is really just so that we had a way to maintain access to grain. I put a little farm here. We don't actually rely on this grain. Most of our grain's coming in from Texas. We can see the enemies decided to come in from this portion of the map edge and cut their way in. That's my number of... Oh, because a bunch of our guys is trying to go join the army because the army has basically lost all its personnel, yeah. Oh, and I guess we can't receive migration in the middle of being raided. Yeah, so a canal one wide is enough to basically do most irrigation. Unless you're running particularly wide fields. But even then, usually you're better off running the canal like one wide on both sides of the field. Right, if I was actually... If this was a farm rather than a pasture, I'd probably want to run a canal down the gap between these two pastures to properly hydrate the field. They're slowly and steadily tunneling their way through. So the thing I'm hoping for is that they make a reasonably straight beeline for the throne. Because we're going to have to fix everything they break on the way there. There they go. There they go. 25% of our warehouse stock, that hurts. And 60,000 denarii. Okay, I think that was fairly minor, all things considered. Yeah, we had... Oh, that's corpses. I can't remember what to repair. Okay, so the only room that was officially broken was, I think, the pasture. And was restored quickly enough, although I think would have reset all the animals to children. So that's going to temporarily affect our meat and fiber income. We got enough migrants back that we're basically back to full. Okay. Let's let another 50 in. And check on homelessness, see where we got any problems, if we have any. A little up in the mine area. Otherwise, no. It looks like we were doing pretty good. Okay, I'm going to edit these guys to do a little bit more training. I think they're not technically training capped. But we're going to tell them all go in more level training. And then we might try to start something with these guys just to have a direct connection between all our lands. With a little bit more training, I think we'll be fine. Oh, I think I'm negative because both the woodcutter and the... Yeah, okay, so we're having a housing issue in this area. Do what we can to upgrade houses. I might have to straight up build more in the area. Okay, that's provided housing for another like 100, so let's actually just let another 100 in. And we'll check on homelessness. We've got 41 odd jobbers. Odd jobbers can basically live wherever the homes are. They technically live near where they're working, but they can kind of work where the stuff is, right? Yeah, I'd like to put more in the Sithlon mines just so we can get more Sithlon being mined. The process of stockpiling this is slow, although it is in theory beneficial to overall fulfillment. Now, we're full in stone just because the process of sort of carving into the mountain to build places is generating stone. Oh, I need to clear those tiles out first. I'm going to refurbish the asylum here. Be one wider. Start with that at least. Oh, really need one wider again. Okay. Every time I've had to build an asylum, I haven't been constrained by the status quo of a mountain. Make it one wider. now I should be able to put the cells in. Another line of cells, like so. Get 8 in there. As long as I can get like over half the deranged population treated at a time, we'll be working to reduce the number, I believe. We're not going to purchase slaves. Invert him. Okay, so... Is that the person I'm planning on attacking? It is the person I'm planning on attacking. These guys want to trade. The Bringer of Peace would like to have peace and trade, and I'm like, I kind of want your territory. Okay, I think we're going to do a little bit of an experimentation here. I'm going to do a quick save. It's been a while since I've saved. Stream 3, part 6. So we're going to put a save in here. I'm due time for another part break here, so we're going to put a part break in. What I'm going to do is, in the next one, I think we might be strong enough to invade and take them over. So I'm going to turn them down and invade them. If that goes terribly, and I'm wrong and we're not strong enough, we'll reload that save and we'll accept the trade deal. Right, because the deal is still pending. Right, the deal is still pending. We're going to turn it down. We're going to see what the result is if we turn it down. If that result's acceptable, we'll just roll with that and we won't come back to the save. If that's terrible, then we'll re-roll that and accept the trade. I think we're strong enough to take them on. The only reason not to is betrayal, spreading to other people. It's half a point. I don't think that'll be a problem. But yeah, if we can, we probably want to take these two guys over. In particular, that's a reasonably high moisture area, 52. If we decide we actually want to sort of lean in on growing our regions, that's probably one of the better places right now that we've got. Up here is a little moisture at 78, but it's only a 50 size area. It's a small area. This one's got 66. Arguably, between the three of them, we've got a couple decent choices for higher moisture. Right, we've got a couple places that are over 50. And that affects how easy it is to grow them. And so we might be able to do some stuff with some slightly larger zones, right? For example, if we're going reasonably big, we can start to stack Workers Guild effects. Each level it's a 0.25%, so if you get all 4 levels, it's 10%. It's a realm-wide effect, so if you've got like 3 places with 10% and 30%, they can start to get into the status quo where they can pay for themselves in workforce. But yeah, we're going to put a part break in here. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I am going to get up, take a quick stretch of the legs, get the ads out of the way, and then go grab a can. Well, while doing that, go grab a can of soda. And then we will be back to record one more part today. So until the next part, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.